There we go. Kevin. Let's see. Top over here. Let's see. All right, maybe Instagram doesn't want to work for me today. Well, welcome. I'm Lindsay. I'm the founder of Soothe Beginnings, and as my daughter is home for the summer, we're gonna have to do our lives in the real life with. Huh? Yeah. So I'm gonna give up on Instagram here for going live. In about 6 weeks or so, our pacifier is launching because when this one was little, we struggled with trying to find a pacifier she would take. And it really should not have been as difficult as it was. So she ended up taking literally one of these pacifiers. And there were quite a few issues with that. One of the things, which I didn't know this back then, but would have been great to know, is that this shape of pacifier is actually a red flag for oral ties. So as I was going through things, I was like, okay, things should be a lot easier to figure out, which pacifier your kid likes. Because we went through a ton of different pacifiers, I very much felt like this is ridiculous. I spent way too much money trying to find a pacifier. So when I tell you we tried so many pacifiers, Yes. So I ended up designing an interchangeable pacifier to figure out which one your baby likes. Now, whether you are nursing, and here's the other thing, if you're trying to nurse, the pacifiers don't really go on that journey with you. What is that?
A dinosaur.
Oh, good job. So there weren't any pacifiers that mimic really that nursing journey. So that's what we got fun. So these go on the feeding journey with you, which is quite a bit easier. So it comes with the cap and shield.
Yeah, no, it's more. I don't like that. No, just
and then you get the 3 different shaped nipples. So you can also clean these out and throw them all in the dishwasher. What's happening?
A dinosaur.
Okay. So she's the inspiration behind the pacifier.
Roar.
Perfect. Because there are things I didn't know until after the fact that these pacifiers are major allergy problems. And the shapes themselves are not ideal. I didn't know that as a new mom. So, and I was discovering, okay, let's make pacifiers easier to figure out which one your baby likes. I really discovered that there was a much bigger underlying safety issue in the US going on with all of that. So she was our little inspiration for the pacifiers. Huh.
I love the pacifiers.
And don't put that in your mouth. That's latex. So these are latex.
Is that
yes.
a bio?
That was the pacifier she liked. Now, if you are going through pacifiers yourself and you're a little... Nope, don't put that in your mouth. Because they're for babies, right? Don't put it in your mouth. We got her weaned off the pacifier. And I do have in the link tree in the bio, I do have our step-by-step guide on how to get off the pacifier because I found that to be quite the stress. So right now what we're launching here in 6 weeks is the interchangeable pacifier with the different nipples. So it goes on the feeding journey to figure out what your baby's preference is. But the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to launch teething nipples and weaning nipples. So this is one sustainable system. Are you lining them up?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's lining up her pacifiers and dinosaurs here. And they're incredible. So we had a little bit of fun with it. Like this one here. So you can put baby's name on it, their initials. I things like that. Huh? But oddly, this is the correct nursing shape. When you have a narrower shape, they're actually not getting that wider, deeper latch that nursing babies have. I know it's silly because it suctions, huh? And you'll notice the nipples are much larger than a traditional nipple because obviously as a mom, we wanted to make sure that whether it's assembled or not, there's not a choking hazard. Huh?
Thank you, Mommy.
You're welcome, baby girl. But we did a plastic-free, because a lot of parents too are wanting, don't put that in your mouth, wanting plastic-free now, rightfully so. And they're wanting eco-friendly. And the cool thing with the silicone, why we did silicone, is actually recyclable, but it is much safer than the latex. Huh? Woohoo! So it is much, much safer than the latex, which looks like this right here. So like that orangey yellowish nipple, it's sold as natural rubber. It's latex. And the weird thing about it is the more you're exposed to latex, the more likely you are to develop the allergy. And like we're talking about newborn babies, that they don't have immune systems built up yet. And we're putting an allergen that is known, the more exposure, the more likelihood they are to have those allergy problems. I was actually talking to, and any questions you guys have, just throw them at me, whether it's, I'm a CBC, so whether it's breastfeeding related, pacifier shape related, pacifier safety related. That's what I'm here. Even how to get off the pacifier. Huh? We got her off the pacifier. I'm a huge fan of around like age 1 or so, because around age 2-ish is where you start seeing like pacifier mouth happening. And we also didn't want it to get in the way of her talking because she was a pacifier junkie. Huh? You loved the pacifier. She was a pacifier junkie.
Go away.
And with that,
Go away. Go away.
girlfriend, I think somebody likes
Go
being,
away.
somebody likes being on camera, I think.
Go away.
What are you doing?
Go away.
What do you have? That.
Pacifiers.
Yeah, pacifiers. We weaned her very well. But if you're a parent that needs help with learning how to wean, when to wean, that's who I would train a while. So when we were trying all the pacifiers too, we tried, I'm sure you guys have seen like the Love-A-Nubs. They're the ones that have like that stuffed animal attached. This is gonna sound crazy. I didn't know, because you expect when you've got a newborn, baby products are safe, right? Like that's your expectation. They're actually not safe for sleep because it's a stuffed animal. So I didn't know that those were suffocation hazards back then and diving in. I'm like, I don't know how, because you think about it, pacifiers are used for babies sleeping. So why would they sell a pacifier they can't use for baby sleeping? So it was just, there were just a lot of ahas on how they sell latex, they sell the stuffed animal ones. They're not girlfriend. Are you just, she's just staring at herself and they all fall down? Do you just like being on camera? Is that what's happening? Anyways, so we've got, here, you want to hold up the nipples?
Okay.
Hold up the nipples. And they do come in different colors, but you can get them in gray. I know it's showing like backwards here. Oh. The little mountain. Or you can leave it plain, simple.
No, come back. No,
For him to latch onto his boot. Okay, yeah, so the Boone Nurse, right? Is that the bottle we've got? I'm sorry, she's been up since 3:30 this morning. So the man pacifier. Hey, can you do inside voice? Okay, yes. Okay, so the Boone Nurse. So it was weird. I was just talking to, so I'm a CBC. I was just talking to an IBCLC about this yesterday because I try to help new parents where I can. So excited. You are so excited. Thank you for the likes, by the way. So with the Boone Nurses, they have that that nipple component, and then it kind of flares. I don't have one here to show you. Dang it. So they can be a little chompy if they do widen their mouth. So that's like a slower latch, a smaller, shallower latch. Sorry, a shallower latch. If they do open their mouths a little bit more, they can take on some air. So they're not the worst bottles, but they're definitely not my favorite for the nursing. And the man pacifier is more of that like orthodontic shape. It's a little bit. I have them. It's similar to this. It's not as bulbous at the top. Which with those, the interesting thing is that is the nipple shape she took. And I didn't know this back then. If your baby isn't able to keep a cylindrical shape in their mouth, if they're not able to keep that cylindrical shape in their mouth, it's actually one of the red flags we look for oral ties. I didn't know that back when she was a baby. Thank you. I didn't know that. So if they're unable to latch to breast, which was her, and then she wasn't able to keep that cylindrical shape in her mouth, that is actually a little bit of a red flag, which is really, really interesting. So the 3 bottles that are super duper recommended for oral development and like the quality of latching working, because we want them working the right muscles. It does affect oral development. So having like a nursing latch, that wider, deeper latch works the muscles better. I'm sorry. No, not that. Can we use an indoor voice? Okay. Thank you. So with those wider, deeper latches, it's actually better for oral development, working the muscles better and the way that we want them to. So the Lancino bottle is phenomenal for it. It's a little bit more triangular. If you look at the Lancino, you'll notice it's more like triangular shape. It doesn't have a nipple and then a bulb, if that makes sense. So the Lancinos are phenomenal, as well as the Even Flow Balance Wide is also a really, really good one for that type of latch as well, to work more on the muscles. And then in third place, I would put like the Advent Natural is really not a bad bottle either. So they're interesting. But I know with the Boones, the fact that you can swap them out is really attractive, and I totally get that. So with her, we didn't realize as she was like drinking on the bottles, I didn't realize the issues with latching. The pacifier shape that she could keep in her mouth. Okay. The pacifier shape she could keep in her mouth. And you're welcome. And then when she was drinking, we used the traditional Advent bottles. So when she was drinking out of them, milk was actually coming out and like dribbling. And what I didn't know was that was also a sign of oral ties. Like I had no idea. So one of the really interesting things is, so this nipple shape, which I can put it in there and show you it. This is recommended shape. So it's like the ninny shape. So if you are, need a pacifier today, because these launch in 6 weeks. If you need a pacifier today, the ninny pacifier is phenomenal. Absolutely, absolutely phenomenal. This is after that shape. So the ninny is a much wider, deeper shape. And these are really good. These are recommended for after oral tie surgery. That way they don't reconnect. So like there's like a whole world about it, which is just crazy to me. So it's just, there was like so much education behind it. So this shape here is actually the top rated shape for quality suck, which is crazy. So that cylindrical shape, because they can curl their tongue around it and they get like a good seal on it, and it works the muscles pretty well. And then this is actually really good for quality suck as well, But with these guys, typically the babies that like this orthodontic shape, they can't curl their tongue around because they have to kind of work to keep, they have to work a little bit more to keep these two shapes in their mouths. So with that, if this is the one that stays in their mouth well, that's a little bit of the red flag, which is really fascinating to me. So they come in the natural black diamonds and then the blue canyon. And then we also have this, I love this color, this chocolate color coming out as well. And what these are, this is, as weird as it sounds, this is recycled paper with a plant-based resin, which is so crazy. So these are dishwasher safe, so you can actually clean out all of it. Totally dishwasher safe, non-porous. That was one of the problems we had. I know the man pacifiers do it as well as the Tommy Tippies do it. They take on like water, so whether you're steaming it or if you are washing it in water or saliva was getting in there and then you can't clean it out. So it was just like breeding bacteria. I was throwing these out like left and right. They maybe lasted me a week. So I was just going through a lot of them and it was rough. Thank you guys for the likes. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, so that was crazy. And then not realizing that these are the popular ones. So the shape itself isn't great. And these are latex. I know a lot of them are marketed as natural rubber. They're latex. They have caused anaphylactic shock in newborn babies. Thank you so much for the likes. I beyond appreciate you. Thank you so much, Ryan. I appreciate it. So yeah, these have caused, and I've talked to moms that this has happened to, anaphylactic shock in newborn babies. Very scary. I also talked to a mom this week over the phone who her baby had these like rashes going on. And her pediatrician kept having her change formula. It was a 2-month-old. Changing formula. Thank you so much, Ryan. I super appreciate it. Was changing formula on her. And she was looking, she's like, I noticed, sister, when we tried a new pacifier. And she said it had like that orangey color to it. She literally looked up on TikTok pacifier allergy, and one of my videos popped up talking about the fact that these can cause the latex allergy. If your baby doesn't have an immediate allergic reaction, it can cause and create that allergy later on. So they've been off that pacifier for about a week today. They've been off that pacifier and he's cleared up, which is wild to me. That what you want to look for in a pacifier is silicone. Silicone doesn't leach anything, which is really fantastic. You don't have to worry about the allergy situation with these. Brian, thank you so much. I really appreciate you sharing this live. Thank you so much. But silicone is what you actually want to look for. And then these are your top 3 rated shapes. So you can play around and figure out which one is baby legs. Because we tried nursing. So I wish I had a pacifier that went on that journey. But my daughter had a hard time latching. So we went through different shapes of pacifiers. And it wasn't like I ended up having to buy like a bajillion different pacifiers. Every brand's claiming to be the best. And you're like, what the heck is actually going on here? So you can swap these and you see how big these are. That way they're not choking hazards as well. So that is how you swap them. Now we are going to launch the line out further with teething nipples and yes, ma'am, and weaning nipples as well. Because that was the other fear, was getting your child off the pacifier. I want it to be, you have everything you need right from the jump, right from day one. Hi, sweetheart. I love you too. What are you doing? Oh, you want up. Got it. Yeah. So she really inspired all of this. How the interchangeability would have been, the helpful thing to have here. But with that, coming through seeing safety issues and what the regulations are. So I don't know if you know this. So most of the pacifiers are not made in the U.S. And they are only having them test once a year, which is a little scary. So if there's a quality or toxicity issue, it's not getting caught and it's going into brand new babies' mouths. So These are, you know, brand new newborn babies, and it's in their mouths for hours and hours on end. So it was really concerning. So I am making the entire pacifier in the United States, but we're testing every single batch as well.
What is that?
It's a pacifier.
What is that?
You just like seeing yourself.
What is?
I know, huh?
What's that?
Yeah. So these pacifiers will be out in about 6 weeks.
What is that?
Ma'am, what do you think? What do you think?
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. Is that what we think? What's your favorite color? Which one's your favorite color?
Black.
You like the black one? I like how the black engraved. So we did like a little monogram on the black. So I thought that came out really nice. Ayla. We are hyper today because we've been up since 3:30 this morning. We did take a nap already, but I think we're still a little bit hyper. Any questions you have on like pacifiers, bottles, nursing, any of that, definitely feel free to ask. Happy to go over it, talk about it. So something I do talk about is pacifier safety. So I am an advocate for that, and that's something I talk to doulas about, midwives, sleep consultants. Lady. Are you just being a ham? Are you just being a ham? And then this color will be out as well. I don't have any cut in this shape yet, but this is one of the colors that'll be coming out as well. But I really liked the material for the pacifiers, and I was originally planning to do like a bamboo pacifier, and I was like, this is gonna be great. Everybody wants bamboo. But I was like, this is gonna be amazing. It's such a good idea. And I'm like, wait, they splinter, they're porous. You can't put them in the dishwasher. I was like, this isn't going to be good for around saliva all day. It's just not going to work. So I was investigating, and this material, so it's called Rich Light. It's recycled paper with a plant-based resin. So it's non-porous. It's dishwasher safe. It's food grade. It's non-toxic, and it's a sustainable eco material. But it's a really, really cool material with a lot of eco accolades and something I trust in my own child's mouth. Why? Why? Can we be careful with these?
No.
Hey, can I have it, please? Give it to Mom. It's Mama's. Can I have it?
No, Mommy.
Ma'am. Hey, all done. No, thank you.
No, say.
Nope. Oh, whoa. All done. No, all done. Let Mom. These are Mama's. You want to play with your sand?
No, please.
All right. You're not listening, girlfriend. I know. Where did we lost something? Oh, you can I have it?
No.
Can I have? Hey, give it to Mom. Ma'am. Do you want to say bye-bye to the live? Do you want to say bye-bye?
No, one more why.
You want more? All right, then give it to Mom. Thank you. You're just being a silly goof today. No, hey. We are going to go with that. But any questions, please feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Mommy.
Feel free to DM.
You're welcome.
I'm home with her for the summer. So your responses might include her.
It's Christmas, Mommy.
But we're launching in 6 weeks.
Yay.
Girlfriend. Do you want to eat some lunch?